All right, thanks for having me. Nice to meet you all. I'm Mario from IoT Venture. And we have GPS tracking solutions for e-bike OEMs and subscription providers. And the basis of the problem we solve to get data and build on data is theft prevention. We are able, with the data we generate from the GPS tracking devices built into bikes, 3 or 4 bikes, and this is the main use case why we're able to push a lot of devices into the market, why they use them, and why the end consumer is connecting their bikes. With this connected bikes, obviously we now have the chance to help the consumer with lower insurance rates, crash detection, to make their bike ride more safe. But also pushing more devices into the markets and helping OEMs and also cities and governments with the data we get from that. So what does that mean? So since we generate the data on the bikes, our OEMs are able to build better products because they see how the bike is actually used. They don't have to build the bike based on competition and see which component they need to build in, what is the newest component they can buy on the market, build it in, and put a price tag on it, but they can see how their users actually use the bike and build on that. Also, obviously, GPS gives and the theft recovery gives a cost reduction, so it's they are able to provide the solution cheaper to their customers. And this is full of strategic opportunities because the first thing is they get an interface to their customer through an app, which they usually don't have. And the other part is they can build on the data to innovate and build their products. So what are these new user experiences that we enable? So if you think about a bike being used, many bikes are not bought anymore, but in Germany especially, they're part of the company subscription via Jobrad, for example. So at the end of 3-year lease, what do you do with the bike? You can have a bike resale score based on the data that we generated through your bike. We can go into predictive maintenance because we know if the bike has been maintained through the app. They can always check if they maintained the bike, what they did to the parts, and book that into their app. And also, especially the ease of use. You always have all the information on your bike, and the OEM always has the information on the bike itself. So our data signatures that we put on these high-value moving assets support various use cases. We work together with the police on all of our thefts, so we don't actually have to have people on the ground because our data is so good that they are able to recover the bikes themselves because we route them in the right moment, in the right time to do that. So you see the maps where all the bikes are being used and what we can do with it. But also what we are able to do now is basically B2G2S. So we can help government and policymakers to use data to build around the micromobility sector and serve society. So for example, in Hamburg, we have a project where they, based on our data, can now plan better. So we're working there together. Bolt serves some data on scooters, we on e-bikes, and they're able to improve the city around that. The whole, so what I want you to take away from this is by serving the end consumer and protecting their bikes and recovering 3 or 4 bikes, we're able to push these devices into the market based on the customer benefit, and they are able to generate data for OEMs and society as a whole.
Yeah, great job. Is it only OEM designed product today, or do you have an aftermarket consumer?
We have an aftermarket solution that we sell through our own brand, mainly in Germany, but pushing into other European markets. It's called It's My Bike, and the retailer can build it in afterwards and use our, the end consumer can use our app, which is basically incorporating all the features that we build together with our OEMs. Yeah.
Right.
B2G2S. I'm going to add that to my acronym list.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of all the business models we're supposed to figure out. But you deliver value to a lot of different groups.
Yeah.
Can you talk specifically about where you actually charge? Where do you charge right now, and who will be growing in your customer base next year?
Yeah, so that depends on the business model of our customers. So for OEMs, we charge them for the hardware that they build in because they resell it to the dealer, obviously. And then on the connectivity part and our servicing, we have split models depending on their business model. For others, like Dance, for example, we have a hardware as a service deal because it fits better into their subscription model, and that depends there.
Yeah, but you're entrenched.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And so that always like we try to enable our customers to like with our pricing to incorporate into their business model. Yeah.
Peter, do you have a question?
I would like to follow up on the question from Jørn, actually. If you only have one sentence and it needs to be short,
Yeah.
what is the core of your concept?
The core of our concept.
Yes.
The core of our concept is putting a data signature on high-value moving assets.
Okay.